Hello, everybody. I wanted to give you a quick tour of the members platform. It is powered by Class Dojo. Just so you know what's all involved. This is the administrative window. This is the dash for administration. So if you join as a school and your principal or your administrators would have this window. All right, and we're going to go through a little bit. Why is it beneficial for everybody to be there? So the administrative window, the members is the organization. All administrators would be able to post a photo or video or event or file for the whole entire platform. All right. So when we get to calendar, of course, then your calendar, you could create an event here. It's really easy. You go through and you say the big event is what and what is the description, when's the date, the start time, is signing up. Okay, and just send a reminder and you can create an event. All right, the chats are really great because you can have whoever you want in the chats. Like if you want to jump into future leaders chat, you would do that. And that would be students and parents. And you could say, hi, everybody, just wanted to welcome you to members. Or if you want to talk to any of your students in that age group. As you see, I've got it listed as age group. So your students and your teachers would be in the different age group settings, depending on which class you want to put them in. All right. Points are points that you can see as administrator if you want to have contests in your school, or we would have a contest on the organization, like building inside of Class Dojo or growth mindset activities, or which class is most interactive, or which class shows the best characters, and this type of thing. These are the skills that everybody's working with, and these are the different classes that everybody's in. Your school directory just shows who is the staff. It shows which students you have on board and which classes are in your organization. All right, so where it says grade 1, grade 2, these are just labels. It doesn't necessarily mean that they are those grades. All right, the school-wide center is if we were to go school-wide, but we don't need to do that because I've already gotten permission to go internationally. All right, through Class Dojo. And then insights are just kind of like your analytics. All right, so you can add a new class. If you're an administrator and you want to add a new class, you just click this button. How come it's not working? Okay, so you join as a co-teacher, just the teachers. Okay, so to create a new class, you hit create a new class. In the school, the class name would be, if you just would write whatever you'd want to write, like CISD teachers. Okay, and then you choose a grade, you would say other, because these are the teachers, right? And then hit create. And then that class is taught. All about teachers is we are not adding any students to this chat or to this group. We would just be adding teachers, and therefore you would see a different screen, and I will show you what that looks like in a second. All of members is based on age group, not based on grades. The demo class is, this will show you what a class type setting looks like. On the top, you've got your classroom, which are your students or the children involved. You can group them according to activity, or you can group them according to age group. You can group them however many groups that you want. There's no limit. Okay, the class story is as you as a teacher, you can find out what's happening in your class. So let's say you teach Teen Titans age 13 to 15. It doesn't matter if it's your school or another school, or some of these children might not be on your school, maybe from a different school or different country. You would be in the Teen Titans learning area so that you can make sure you get to know those students. All right, so this would be like if this had Teen Titans, you would be able to add to your demo class a photo, video, event, and a file. You'd be able to create an event, and it would go to the calendar. You have your chats, and it says parent. You can do parents here. Children can come in. Parents can talk to each other. I have it set up to do that. And that would be in the demo chat class or demo class chat. All right. Demo class, welcome to this other person and parents. Okay. And then you have the calendar, which we've already kind of explained. Events would be here. Then Dojo Islands is a place for kids and parents and anybody that wants to play online. So earlier I wasn't able to get this up and running. I'm going to see if I can get into it now. I would visit as a teacher because that's what I'm coming in as. If you have your own class, you can go in and play with your students. And so if this loads, it says it's loading the monsters. You can see it's kind of moving there. It's a really cute island, and it is a place where kids can learn. And hopefully it will start moving here. But yeah, so Class Dojo Islands is a place where there's community activities, and the children that are online can really explore and do fun and great things together. It looks like it's having the same issues as it was having earlier when I was in a video or a call. Okay, there we go. All right, so you can see this is my little person here. You can use the toggle on the screen to move if you have a screen device like a tablet or something like this, or you can toggle. So if I were to use the screen, I would go this way. Marissa is still loading a little bit, but I would use this as my screen measures, or I can move them with the arrow keys. Okay, so the thing is that you collect coconuts. These trees have these like green things on the bottom. You push them and they shake, and they have coconuts that drop. But you're always collecting coconuts. So it has, as you can see, this little keyboard. It's cute, and it actually plays music. Oops. All right, so kids could play with that with music. You could introduce music that way, which is kind of funny, but in the same way. Has a little maze that you can run through. It says you're collecting coconuts. And then, like I said, if you hit the tree, oh, there's some more coconuts fall down. All right, this hide and seek, you go here and it says start a game. So you need at least one other person to play, but as we grow children, there might be lots of children online to play, and you have to hide and seek. All right. The other thing we have here is the activity center, and generally this is where most schools, and you can have different zones. So you have a dream school. Can you find or build your own dream school? That's activity of the month. So every month, Class Dojo changes the activity. So like for instance here, if you go up in here, you can say warp students to activity zone, to number shores, warp students to arena. Oh, that's new. Let me see what that is. Or it goes to the arena. Oh, arena, yeah. Warp to arena. Oh, this is a new one. So I'm not exactly sure what's going on here, but it says start a game. And what are we doing in the arena? This is new. Oh, chicken tag. Oh, so they can play tag, which is really fun too. All right, that's another place. You can warp all the students to that area if you want to play with them. To the starting area, to activity zone. Let's go back. So there's hide and seek, and then this activity zone can be split into different zones. So here all you do is, in order to build, you can pick any block, a water block, say, you just hit right there, like that. You see? And that builds water. If you want to go from here, I think there's a settings key somewhere. Oh, what is here? Something is here. Okay. Yeah, this is just where you've set your time. That's what it is. All right. So I'm going to go out of here and work back to. All right. So here is zones. All right. You can put your zone, your building zone, into divisions. So you can have up to 4 divisions. So if you wanted to have a contest with 4 of your kids in your class or 4 groups in your class, they can build together and you can have contests. All right. All right. And that's pretty much it for this. And I won't spend much more time in there, but it's okay. Oh, I wanted to say one thing about that before I left, but I will just tell you, it'll automatically translate. So you won't have to if your child speaks a different language, it'll translate into that language of what the other children are saying through their emojis and their different little phrases like nice hair or, something sweet and kind like this. Okay, let's go back here. You have a toolkit. Teachers have a toolkit. So if you're using this in your classroom, you can do timer, random, group maker, noise meter. This is kind of nice. Yeah, of course. All right. This you can check. You can set the sensitivity on it. If it's at the beginning of the year, maybe you want it down like this because they're not used to being told to keep their volumes down, right? You get to the middle of the year, maybe you want it here. Of course, when you get to the end of the year, when they're crazy, you can put it there. That's kind of cool. The other thing that they have is I've used, and I think they have Think, Pair, and Share, which is really neat. They have today. Today's Monday. If you want them to write the dates, music is really cool. This tells you if they want you to focus or active, and of course, it will play music based on the activity. Okay, and so there's that. Attendance, you can take attendance in your classes. That's kind of cool. Timer is just another timer if you want stopwatch or countdown. And one of the really cool perks in this is portfolios. You can create an activity and students can do the activity and they'll all have their own individual portfolios. And then big ideas. And I've done this one with my kids. I haven't got through all of them, but I've done those too. And children seem to really enjoy it. Even adults, if you format the questions, the conversation questions afterwards, you will see that it's still really a great tool to use. Okay, and I would go through more of this in your training if you were to join me in members through Class Dojo. And these are your options in order to edit your class, student login, finish the class, adding co-teachers, become a tutor, and invite families. All right. Now, if you join as just a teacher, you cannot just add your students. That's not how it works. You're joining just as an individual. If you join just as a student, you are joining just as an individual. If your school decides, or if you're joining as an administrator because you just want to be on the platform so that you can take a better look at it, that's fine too. You can order as an administrator, but you're not adding anybody. You actually have to add as a school. We would have to sit down and make a tiny contract saying that your school has this many students in this grade, this grade, this grade, this grade, how many students will be on the platform, and then you will be charged by the number of students in your school. Then, of course, you would be access first. I would do a training with administrators. Once everybody's clear on that, then they would add their teachers. The teachers then would be trained, and then the teachers would add their students. And teaching students how to add parents and all this other stuff. And so that's basically what you're paying for. You're paying me for getting you on there with all the training and everything of the 10 or plus years experience I have working with the platform. Okay. All right. So I think for now, that's it. That's all I want to talk about. I hope it was informative for you. I will be putting this on my LinkedIn, possibly, as well as my website. So if you need to watch it again, you're more than welcome to do that. Thank you so much and have a wonderful day.